So can you teach me how to do the blow? Because I don't know how to do it. I feel really awkward doing it. Yeah, I can do the running man and the Roger Rabbit all day long, but
I'm not the best teacher to do it though.
What's up, everybody? It's Elmboogie here, creator of Boogiezone, and unfortunately Phil is not here today, so I'm stepping in after all these years. I'm going to give myself another chance at hosting the Boogiezone community class. I had the pleasure and honor today to be able to invite KJ Estudillo into the studio, and he just taught an amazing Boogiezone community class, and here he is right next to me. Say
hey,
hi.
What's up, guys? My name is KJ Estudillo. Super honored. I can't thank you enough for having me here and also getting me back to come back to teach. I'm super thankful, so.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And so I want to talk to you a little bit about your class.
Cool.
Like, how was your prepping for the Boogiezone community class? How did it go for you? Like, on your way here, like, what were you thinking about? And what's the idea behind this piece of choreography and why this song?
Cool. I think classes in general, I have a certain format that I go with. But for like this specific class, I didn't know what to expect. I was just talking to Natasha about like what students are going to show up, level of students, amount of students. So I always go off like a structure that I typically go off of. But the reason why I picked specifically this piece, I did teach this last week. With this piece that I created, I really wanted to create something fun. And at the time, it was really hard for me to create. I felt really frustrated. So I was like, okay, let me take a step back. How can I find myself to a happy spot where I can move and enjoy it? And this song came up at Petco, Motown Philly,
Nice.
Boys to Men.
Okay.
And I like immediately started just grooving. And I was like, okay, this song I can make a class out of, but make it an enjoyable experience. So I created this piece to share that with others and like to have a welcoming environment and also kind of give an ode to like 90s hip hop moves and give that respect. Because I don't think there's many classes that do that. And I wanted to at least try to push myself and also give the honor and respect to say like, listen, I was born early 90s. I didn't start creating those moves, but I'm showing like, here's a Roger Rabbit, here's an Apache, here's how to groove, here's how to, kickball, like do a top rock and all these different moves that I feel like was best to teach and give to specifically this class, a very young generation. That weren't even born in the 90s.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's why I went with that piece today. And I super enjoyed just the environment, the energy, the kids, and just how receptive people were. And being open, because they could have easily been like, well, we're not doing like woes and we're not doing this, but that's okay. I said in the class, like whatever happens before class, whatever happens after, it's all about this moment.
I like that, yeah.
And I always instill that in every class.
Very good.
So that was today.
Well, you brought the environment. You created that space for them to feel comfortable. So, like, just right off the top, you came in here just super welcoming, super energetic, and that's really awesome because that's really what Boogiezone's about. And I know some of these kids are some of them even kind of brand new to dance and don't have a lot of experience aside from what they see on YouTube and things like that or Instagram, like right now. And so I thought it was really special that you actually brought something that was more foundational. And I was talking to some of the kids after class about what they thought. They're like, oh, this was hard, but it was a lot of fun. I don't get moves like this hardly anywhere or never, you know? So it's really good. And I actually had to look up like what year Motown Philly was.
I did too.
1991.
91.
Which I'm not going to say where I was in 91, but it was...
I was even born. That's what I
was not born.
I was born 93.
I was very much alive. I was alive and I was doing my thing. I was actually just getting started on around that year. So
that's huge.
It's a long time
That's
ago.
huge.
What did you think about this generation of dancers trying to do this type of movement? It's interesting, but my whole premise behind the Boogiezone community class relaunch was actually to connect the younger generation with the older. And so this is a really good kind of reinforcement for that whole idea. So I'm glad you brought it this way. What do you think?
I think the one thing that comes to mind in these different generations is the aspect of social dances. A lot of dancing now, or social dances, becomes viral and it's accessible to a lot of people. I think back then, social dancers were basically, if you're like sessioning with people that dance, or you're at like a house party, or you're watching a music video like on MTV, and that's where like you pick up those moves and like you're teaching them with other friends. And I think that's the great, like, I think revival is how big dances. Now, a matter of like difficulty of moves, like, yeah, to them it's like this was hard, but it's like this is what people were doing like a lot. And like I think I don't see it as, it's not just simple, it's energetic, it's fun, it's like giving vibes, and like that's the whole aspect of it. And you can totally see that now, like everyone, like just as simple as like the whoa, it's a social dance, but people do it. And like its dance has become that much more accessible and also like acceptable. And I commend it. And I think it's also important that we have teachers that can bring back moves and to give history on it and to open up that generation so that there are the new generations open to that aspect. And not like, oh, I just saw this on like Vine. I don't even know if people know what Vine is anymore, you know, Vine, YouTube. But I think it's just super, super important to like continue that. And dance is definitely more accessible, and there's a lot of people doing it. And if I can just give a little piece of like what my mentors gave me and like the little like things and grooves that they gave me, if I can instill that, like that's all I can ask for.
Very good. Why haven't you been here before?
That's a good question.
You've just been busy, right?
Yeah, well the thing, so
what are you up to? Tell us what you
Yeah, so I moved to San Diego 2 years ago, and the only reason why I would come down to Southern California was basically to visit family or a dance competition. And I never had the time to stay like fully like a week to train because I was either in school or I was working full time. And a lot of my friends have actually taught these workshops in this, like in the studio. And I just never got the chance and able to do so. And I think it means a lot to be here to teach and to have that privilege to do so. But yeah, currently I guess where I'm at right now, I'm actually going to be going to chiropractic school in the fall. And I think the reason why I got inspired by doing that was I was recently in Beyond Babel, Keone Mari's show.
Wow.
And we worked with a chiropractor once a week. And I never really saw a chiropractor, and I never saw, I guess, use for it. And so I saw them once a week.
So that inspired you to go into
and
to get
yes,
wow.
all the dancers saw them every week. Keone Mari, all
awesome.
ensemble members.
Wow.
And I realized, well, I have a biology degree, I have a pre-health background. Why don't I give back to dancers in the future?
Perfect.
And not only just for dancers, but athletes in general. Because I think the conversation of dancers are athletes is super, super key. And I commend like Keone Mari for instilling that in us and mentoring us. So I want to come back and practice as a chiropractor. And I've danced at probably a high level of dancing with like Beyond Babel, Travel, Keone Mari, and taking all that inspiration to inspire others and have that validity. Like I know what it takes to be at this level. Let me give you the care and the help and the need for that.
That's really
awesome. So that's where I'm at right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a way to bring all your interests and passions together, like swirl it all together.
Yeah.
I think that's great. So you're ready, you're registered for school? You're gonna
yes,
start
so
soon?
I'm starting in October. I'm ready to go and basically just waiting until school starts.
Are you still going to be dancing up there, or are you going to focus on just the school?
I would like to. My goal is to teach at least once a week.
Okay.
So, any studios out there?
What area are you going to again?
What school?
What area are you going to be
San
in?
Jose.
San Jose.
So there's On-One Studios. I used to teach at Full Out Studios once a week, and I taught for over a year and a half.
Get them. Yeah, why not?
Company's still back there.
Sick.
So
yeah,
I feel like I'm well connected, and now I have more experience that I can give back to the Bay community after dancing in San Diego for 2 years and learning a lot. And I feel like I've grown so much as a dancer and as a person that I can just continue to build not just like myself, but the Bay community.
Perfect.
From all the experiences that I've had.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like Keone and Mari are really big inspirations of mine also, and to see kind of where they came from, where they're going now, is really insane. You know, for you to have first-hand experience of being mentored by them, especially with the show, and even on Cookies too, right? Yeah, can you say anything a little bit about, like, what would you say from like an insider perspective of like how you see them operate? Like, what makes them unique? I
think it's just being genuine human beings. I think that's the first and foremost, like the first thing I think of when it comes to them. And just like always giving, and giving with purpose, and giving to the right people and the right energy, and inspiring others. And I literally can't thank them enough. I literally took a leap of faith. I was working full time, and I was offered a understudy role in the show. And I had to make a decision. either I continue working full-time and I forego the show, or I quit my full-time job and I do the show.
Okay.
So within 1 week, I quit my job.
Wow.
And this is for an understudy role. This is not even a permanent cast member. Yeah. So basically, I was just filling in for whoever steps out, someone gets hurt. Mm-hmm. But I knew, like, this was a huge decision in my life, but I wanted to do this, and I think God was telling me, like, this is the timing. And just wholeheartedly go into this. Open heart, open mind, and trust that you will be fine in doing this. Mm-hmm. And that only helped with just knowing that it was with Kyoni Mari. Mm-hmm. And I was able to work with Kyoni a lot with different K-pop stuff and different jobs, and knowing them as just people. And I think it was the right timing. Mm-hmm. And I mean, to this day, like, there's different lessons and different things that I can take away. Just like being consistent, being genuine, mm-hmm. and working extremely hard and purposeful, like having a purpose, not just working hard, but deliberate practice. I think that's like the key things that I can take away.
Super.
Yeah.
I was going to say, being an understudy is no joke. Oh. And I wouldn't downplay kind of the importance of an understudy.
Yeah.
I know the understudy for the Justin Timberlake tour,
mm-hmm.
and that person actually had to know everyone's track,
mm-hmm.
and that's a lot of work. Yep. So you had to have been really trusted to be able to get that position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's
crazy. It's
crazy because usually as a cast member, if you're, mm-hmm. If you have a set role, that's kind of the role that you're set into. Yeah. For a guy understudy, there's 3 ensemble characters. Mm-hmm. There was 2 that I was at least the direct backup, so I had to know 2 different tracks.
Wow.
But I also had to push the seats in the show. I had to do backstage. I had to do costume. Like, I had to grind and prove to myself. And also, I was given set dates of when I was going to perform. So literally for 2 weeks before the show, I'd work with Juju because I was an understudy. The first week, I would learn the whole track. The second week, I would do the whole show by myself, like literally on stage, all the way through. Just me. Every spot, every prop. And then by the time I got to the show, it was already second nature. But I knew, I had to prove myself that understudy is not just an understudy role. It's like you have to fill in and be able to hold ground, mm-hmm. and still not skip a beat. Mm-hmm. Because you don't want that. You want to be the person that person obviously is an understudy.
Yeah.
For example, I watched Hamilton last night in San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
And some of them were understudies. You can't even tell. They literally, I know, I feel and I understand how important it is. And so the great thing was working so hard in the first season as understudy. The second season, I was able to actually perform mostly as pretty much set role for the whole season. There was maybe 1 or 2 days I didn't perform. Yeah. But I think that just comes with dedication and consistency. So I respect all understudies in any show, super, super hard work. So
I think really what it's coming down to is it is dedication and perseverance and all that stuff, and humbling yourself to be able to make it. Mm-hmm. Because you got to work hard.
Yeah.
Right? You were grinding.
Yeah.
Wow, congrats.
Thank you.
Dope.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? I know you have school.
Yeah.
And is that coming up when?
October.
Okay.
And I think I'm looking long term. I think my overall goal is to go back to school. It's only about 3 years, 3 months, and then I do want to come back to the Southern California, specifically San Diego area. And hopefully open up a practice that focuses on sports chiropractic and dancers.
Nice.
And my super, super long-term goal is to have a clinic, a clinic with a dance studio to incorporate a healthy lifestyle, taking classes or rehab to performance classes, and also that you have the care to go to if someone gets hurt.
Perfect.
So that's a long-term goal. So
that's not too far away.
It's not.
If you think about
it's in my 5-year plan, I see it in there.
Grand scheme of things, it's gonna happen really soon.
I think so.
All right, before we go, I have to come up with a really interesting question for you, because Phil asks really, really interesting questions of people. So let's see. Give me some keywords. Dylan, you have anything interesting? My brain's drawing a blank here. I wish we could go to the phone lines and open it up. Call for help. Anyone out there? Let me see. Luna, calling a friend. Luna, hello. Hi, Luna.
Hi, my name's Luna.
Hi, Luna. I want to know, is there any interesting question you want to ask KJ? Luna, right?
Yes.
Luna, you're calling from?
I'm calling from Mexico.
From
International.
All the way in Mexico? You're watching all the way from Mexico?
Of course, because I love
Hey! How do you say Boogiezone in Mexican? Spanish? How do you say Boogiezone in Spanish? If your style was a ice cream,
Yes.
which ice cream flavor would it be?
Yes. And it can have like all kinds of whatever creativity and yumminess.
What would you swirl
Not
in there?
yumminess on it.
Oh.
And why? And why? We want to know why.
Oh,
Okay, hold on, the line's gonna answer.
I'm just answering off of like my recent obsession with an ice cream place. Cauldron.
Ooh.
Shoot. Honey lavender.
Ooh.
No, what is it?
That sounds
Just say what
nice.
is it?
It's Earl Grey lavender.
Earl Grey
Earl
lavender.
Grey.
With churro, eggette,
Egg puff.
egg puff.
Eggette.
Yeah. The reason why I say that is because there's different textures and elements to that. That has to go a lot with my just personality. I have different just textures, and I think, actually, one thing I do pride myself on is being like adaptable and like switching in different situations. And there's a lot of different textures and scenarios in that whole meal itself. There's honey, there's Earl Grey, there's churro on the egg puff. And it's like so just like
Churro, that's Mexican.
churro, like everything. And I think that's how I would describe myself right now. That's a good question.
This is not gonna get edited, just so you know. This is like,
Oh,
we
that's
keep it
fine.
real
No,
here at
good,
Boogiezone,
Oh, good.
right?
Yeah. Keep
Yeah.
it real. Keep 100.
Keep it real.
I like it.
100.
100.
So can you teach me how to do the whoa? Because I don't know how to do it. I feel really awkward
serious?
doing the. Yeah, I can do the running man and the Roger Rabbit all day long, but I
I'm
can't.
not the best teacher to do it though. I guess the one you could do is we'll throw something up, we'll catch it, and then we'll whoa it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So pretend you're like juggling. So we'll do the prep, whatever. Juggle. Oh, nice. All right. We're gonna juggle with the right. Just throw the right up. Throw it. All right. You're gonna catch it. Good. And then you're gonna bring it around, and then reverb. Boom.
This way.
Yeah. And then you can take your left hand and just hold it here. Juggle. Juggle.
Juggle.
All right. Last one. Catch that.
I want to hear the song come in, Dylan. I want you to put the
I
song
did.
over this. Follow me at Elmboogie. 1. Follow you at
KJE23 SOLE. Soul. KJE23 Soul.
Go to thecommunityclass.com to see our upcoming instructor schedule. Follow us at Boogiezone. This is KJ. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you. I'm super honored that I get to be interviewed by you in your space, in the element, and like I said, just being here is very inspiring, and I want to take that and share that. So you've inspired me and many others, and I'm going to continue that.
Really great to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Best of luck in the future.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Throw it up. Catch it. Cut!